Aloha everyone, this is Lenora, Hawaii's Pickle Lady. Today we're making pizza and it's for a large amount, enough for 5 big pizzas. So I'm starting off with 3.5 cups of very warm water, putting in 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of yeast, mix it all up. And we have to wait until it's very bubbly, probably about 10 minutes or so. Now the pizza dough, this has 9 cups of flour. I'm going to pour in the yeast and water. And half a cup of oil. And 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm going to mix it all up. And I'm going to use my hands because otherwise it's hard to mix with the spoon. So just get in there and mix it real good. After this, I'm going to take it and put it on a board, sprinkle it with flour, and knead it until it's nice and soft, about 10 minutes or so. Now I'm going to knead the dough. So I have here a cup of flour. We probably won't use it all, but you spread it on the board and then dump this dough onto the flour. And now we're going to knead it. Again, what you do is you press down with the heels of your palm, fold it in half towards you, rotate. So it's press, fold, turn. And just keep on doing this until the dough becomes very nice. It'll probably take about 10 minutes to do it. Right now it's a little stiff, but it'll get softer as I knead it more. The kneading becomes automatic after a while. And you see it's not sticking very much, so I don't need a lot of flour. The pizza dough has been rising for about an hour and you can see how big it is. So now I'm going to punch it down. Just bring it to the center. And then turn it over. And I'm going to let it rise one more time. This time it probably won't take an hour, maybe about half hour or so. This is the dough. Of course, I've used some of it. I've already made 2 pans like this. This is the 3rd one. Probably I can get 3 more pizzas out of this. And when I cut it, I just use this gadget. It doesn't stick. I just press it down. And the size, you can kind of mold it. It's about the size of a 1-pound sausage. That a pork sausage in a package. Okay, I have here 2 rolling pins. This is the traditional one, but I prefer this one because especially if it's big, you have more leverage to it. So you don't need flour. I tried flouring it, but it's not necessary. And this pan, the half sheet pan, has been sprayed so that the dough won't stick so much. So now all I do is I roll it, try to roll it. Now I'm not a professional pizza maker. I wish I could throw it up but this is sort of a compromise. So just roll it. And it, believe it or not, it'll fit in this pan. And you see how much space, I mean, because it's so long, with this little one, I couldn't do what I'm doing now. That's why I like this one. And I know in Europe they have these kinds of wooden rolling pins, and some of them are even longer. And I'll put a link in it where you can get this, because not all stores carry it, only specialty stores. And you can get pretty thin on this. And the dough will kind of rise a little bit. So you see it doesn't stick. So what I usually do is I try to pull it. Sometimes it breaks, but just be careful. Pull it. So when I get a pretty good size, I just kind of lay it on the pan. And then I try to stretch it without breaking it. If it breaks, it's easy to fix. Before, when I didn't know how to do this, I would just put it on the pan and just press with my hand, but it was kind of messy and it took a long time. If you roll it somewhat, it's much faster and it looks better. You just kind of have to play with it. Now the dough, you can see I've kind of smoothed it all out, and it didn't take very long. And I like to press it up on the sides a little bit, because as it bakes in a 500-degree oven, it'll shrink a little bit. And so this way you have the full pan to use. Next, you take some olive oil and brush it all over. That helps to keep it nice and moist. And then we're going to bake it for maybe 8 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven. You want the crust to be brown but not burnt. So you have to check it every few minutes after 8 minutes or so. Every oven is different. So some ovens might be hotter than others.